Okay, so now this week we're starting off with Perek Ches, Perek Ches of Ch8 and Ch7. So our goal, so again, Zion is the theoretics, is all the for lack of a better term, is what the mitzvahs are and what the halachos are. Perek Ches is the execution of it. So what we need to keep in mind as we read through this is what new things he's saying, and then what differences are there between Zion and Ches.
And why does he have it
and
at all?
Yeah, why does he have it at all? Right, that's another thing. Yeah, okay. So we have here Perek Shmini, Leil HaSeder, Sidur, Asiyas Mitzvot Elu B'Leil Chamisha Atar Kafu. So the Sidur of these mitzvot on the night of the 15th is such. Okay, I believe, I think I saw over the weekend, the Rav said that he does use a similar lashon by the Seder of Yom. I just want to check that out, which is not going to be in that volume, unfortunately. Yeah, that's just the first three. So I just want to check it out.
Where is it?
It's in, you tell me.
The Sefer Avoda?
It is, yes, it is. It's at the end of the second to last section in Avoda, and I think the fifth paragraph, maybe? No. Fourth? Yeah, fourth.
Wait, so you said which thing is from?
It's in the Sefer Avoda, and it's in Hilchos Avodas Yom Kippurim. Yeah, it might not be worth it for you guys to look it up because it's only one line, but if you got it, you got it.
Well, it starts on 740.
Halacha Aleph. Seder kol hamatzim shebiyom zeh kafu. So the Seder of all the actions on this day is such. So is that what he said on? Obviously, Belila is that Seder? He said for us Seder asiyas mitzvot elu b'leil chamisha. Okay, so it is different.
Yeah, well, here you have
You only have right, and they only have one mitzvah.
Is it one mitzvah? Just
I think for the Avodas Yom Kippurim.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, it says he shiatsa masa yom kippurim kulan al seder k'moshe pesach.
Yeah. So it makes sense that he used the masim there, but yeah, okay, fine. So very, very similar. So Seder asiyas mitzvot elu b'leil chamisha atar kafu, but tefillah, and so far there's nothing in the Rambam that has indicated the concept of Seder, right? I mean, there's obviously Maktub B'Gnus and Messiah Shavach, but there's nothing about the mitzvahs themselves that dictate that you had to do it in a certain order, right? Like if you did, let's say, Dorish, let's say you were Maktub B'Gnus and Messiah Shavach, and then you did Ravi Omid Avi, and then you did the Shinui Halayla and the Shelas Haben. Nothing that the Rambam said would indicate that that's somehow a problem.
Right. Well, unless the Maktub B'Gnus and Messiah Shavach had to be a response to the questions.
Yeah, but it wasn't machna that way, was it? Yeah. I mean, you could say such a thing, but in fact, one would think it starts with Lahatza the Gnus and L'Sayim B'Shavach. Maybe you should start with it. Yeah, right. Similarly, like Roman Gamliel, the Kol Chomer Shlosh Devarim with Pesach. Nothing that says that you have to do that in a particular place, or even eating matzah and maror. Yeah. Okay. So Fatchila in the beginning. Naveen kos l'chol echad v'echad. You bring a kos for each and every person. Umavareth borei pri hagefen. Now I know just from the way that the Rav takes these things is that they're very dalka. Like if the Rambam mentions it, then it means that it's there's some sort of halachic rule. So let's say, for example, like the havas hakos to each and every person. I don't know what he said about that, but I'm saying like that type of thing. Okay. He wouldn't say it if it weren't a thing. Hagefen of Omer Allah Kiddush Hayom Uzman. Yeah.
I guess that each person should have a kos. It's not just that people are going to be drinking grape juice.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, right. Everyone should have a kos. Yeah, I wonder why that is. Yeah.
I guess I just showed what I have for the Seder because I said grape juice, not wine.
Yeah. Omer Allah Kiddush Hayom Uzman. V'shoseh. Fine, and he drinks it. The achar kach mevarach on the tilas yadayim. Oh, so that's for Kadeish, right?
Yeah,
yeah, it does, and he doesn't say the heseva, right? Oh. Did he mention the heseva halachos for?
I don't think so.
About which? Yeah, he did, right? He didn't mention what you do it for, though. Is that what? Yeah.
No, he said for matzah.
Is that what he said? Just for matzah and. Oh, and Shinti's Arbakos. Yeah. Matzah and Shinti's Arbakos. Okay, so he just doesn't say it again here. That's strange. Yeah, okay, fine. Because I thought these were like instructions. Okay. V'achkav mevarach al netilas yadayim v'notel yadav.
Well, he's explaining the procedure and like the flow of things of one event to another, and the previous part had to do with like the particulars of how these things are.
I hear that, but it's still kind of weird that it doesn't just say umesiv v'shoseh, you know, like it is an action you're doing that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more bothered by it than not bothered by it for the reason you said, you know. So then you make the bracha on netilas yadayim and you wash your hands because this is my understanding. I forgot if we didn't talk about the washing for karpas, did we? Because it didn't come up.
No.
So my understanding is that the whole thing about washing for things that are dipped in mashke in the 7 liquids, that it's machloket whether we have to do that bisman hazeh. And Ram holds you do it with a bracha, and other Rishonim you hold you don't do it at all. So we at our Sedarim are nohig to do it to wash without a bracha, but there's no such thing as washing without a bracha. Like if you held that you have to do it, you would do it with a bracha, which is why he says that you did a bracha. Yeah. Muvin. Yeah.
It's also weird that we only do this without Seder.
Yeah. My guess. What that?
No,
I said speak for yourself.
My guess is that either because it was incorporated into the Seder Halala, that it became like a thing that people did, or I would bet you that there's someone who says that we do it so that the kids will ask. You know, seems like all that stuff in the beginning, lots of stuff in the beginning of the Seder. It's unknown whether we do it like just for Shayla to Ben. You know.
Weird.
Yeah.
So if your kid asks about it, you shouldn't just say, "Oh, because I'm doing this." So you could ask, like you should say, like, "Oh, because of the din of like watching."
It's a good question. Right, because the way that the Gemara made it sound. Well, okay. Are you asking halachically or you're asking like advice?
Yeah, I guess in terms of what would be the best answer.
Yeah. Right, because it's not really a question about the right, meaning because
that's
a weird. Yeah, right. That's a weird. I never thought of that question before.
Yeah, like nafkamina in like any structure of the Seder question.
Yeah.
Is like really small.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I'll see if I can find anyone who addresses it.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Umavin shulchan aruch. This is a prophecy. You bring a shulchan that is set, the alav, maror, the yarak, acher. Oh, yarak. Weird vowelization. Umatza v'charotes. So you have okay. This is also like, is there an order here? On it is maror and yarak. So that's definitely not in order, right? I mean,
Okay, I don't think that can be in order to things on a table. You're bringing a table that has things on it.
I mean,
not at least. I mean, it's chronologically without order. I don't know if you're saying that it's an arrangement order.
Arrangement order, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Aruch, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know if aruch means just like with silverware and cutlery, or or if the aruch is like qualifying this stuff. Because clearly, like, people definitely have a concept of Seder, the order of the Seder plate, right? I just don't have no idea if the Rambam holds by that. Marav yarak acher, umatza v'charotes, the gufo shel kefas pesach, and the body of the paschal lamb, ubasar chagiga shel yom arbatar, and the meat of the chagiga of the 14th. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Not talking about the little tables anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
The really little tables.
Practically, this is not like a Seder plate.
Yeah, it's a table. It's a table.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, you can't have a plate that's big enough for for the body of a lamb.
Yeah.
At that point,
I mean, I honestly don't know how small the average lamb is that they cook. If it's
bigger than one.
Bigger than one place, definitely.
It's at
right.
least like this big. Like,
yeah, but you have platters like that.
Yeah.
Like the pig with the apple in its mouth. Like people bring out the entire body of the pig.
Yes. Yeah.
And pigs are bigger than lambs, I think.
I think lambs are bigger than pigs.
That at that age?
Oh, actually, I don't know.
Oh, isn't it 1 year? This is open the psukim. We should know this. Busha. Hold on. Hold on. Should I look in the psukim or in the Rambam? Let's look in the Rambam actually. You know, we might as well. You got for yourself. Okay, fine. Yeah, let's look at Hilchos Chametz Pesach. Okay, go for it.
It's not come up, right?
Yeah, because it's the first Korban Yachid. I feel like Ben Shana. Yeah, Zachar Ben Shana. Mitzvah to say, it's the very first halacha. Mitzvah to say, lishchot ha-pesach barba asar l'chodesh Nisan, achar chatos, ve'en shalchin ela min hakavatim o min ha'idin b'levad, Zachar Ben Shana. 1-year-old. Now let's Google. How big is a 1-year-old lamb? No, wait. You know what the first autocorrect is? Unless this is just me, which I don't know why it would be me. First one, how big is a 1-year-old alligator? Then cat, then bearded dragon, then baby. Then German Shepherd, then ball python, then Maine Coon, then golden retriever, then black bear. Okay, I don't know.
That's not.
Yeah, why is it not wolf?
We don't know enough about them.
Yeah, that's true. I have no idea. Okay, here we go.
Because people don't like finding out that Google doesn't have all the answers.
Just
Yeah.
sticking with your Rambam.
Good.
Yeah.
That's promising. That's why they call it Torah Path.
It's a good person.
Okay, so the first entry is Wikipedia under lamb and mutton. It says the meat of a lamb is taken from the animal between 1 month and 1 year old with a carcass weight of between 12 and 66 pounds. So that's not, but again, that's between 1 month and 1 year. So I guess let's say like 66 pounds is like the upper range. Let me get a picture. 1 year old lamb. Yeah. See, I know they're cute. But I'll have to look this up later on.
Of an adult then.
What was it?
I definitely was thinking of
Yeah.
I know it's not, but I wasn't.
Yeah, but that was why I brought in the pig. Is I'm pretty sure the giant hogs are like, you know, or I don't know if it's, I don't even know what a hog is. Like, what's the difference between a hog and a pig?
A hog is, I think, maybe more wild.
Yeah.
Horns.
Yeah, they do talk about wild hogs. Yeah.
Boars with a boar.
Boar is definitely a
Boar's
lot more
bigger,
wild. Yeah. That's true.
Also,
We've exposed our ignorance about even farm animals. So yeah, okay, fine. But yeah, it's gonna be a big plate. Is that what we've agreed upon? Yeah. Okay. Ubazman hazeh mevin al hashulchan shnei mini batar echad zecha lepesach ve'echad zecha lechagiga. Now, is this the first time he's mentioned the shnei tavshilin? I forgot. Or did he mention it at the end? No, I think that's the first time he's mentioned, right? So he's shnei mini batar. He says, yeah.
Is he saying, should you bring a full group?
No. It sounds like as long as you have types. Yeah. In fact, I think it's I don't know if this is LP din or based on minhag. I think we hold it's usher to bring an entire lamb because people might mistake it for the Korban Pesach. He might talk about that later on. Yeah, I can't remember if I'm reading this in the wrong or the Torah or something else.
Yeah. It makes sense that you didn't mention it earlier because the main part of it is has to do with the Pesach and Chagiga.
Yeah.
And he's like the reason he's mentioning the Shnei Tavshilin is as a replacement for them in this.
Yeah, right.
But it's also weird that like this doesn't seem to have to do with procedure. Like you don't even use these.
Right. I mean, unless he does hold that you the hava of it and having the shulchan is a thing. But the question is what role is that in, you know?
Right.
I mean, it is going to be right. Yeah, it's interesting. Or is it only in there because it's a replacement? Like, let's say, for example, you know, in a dream world where Klais were never in Galus, so then the group of the Pesach is playing a role because you have to say Pesach Zesh Anu Achlim, you know, and you just can't do that now. Yeah, but he's also going to mention in the Seder Halala later on because he's going to talk about eating it.
Right.
Yeah, but just not the Shnei Tavshilin.
Yeah.
Okay, Maschil umavarech b'ri pri ha'adam. Is this the second haskalah? Right? He said Maschil muvin kos l'chol echad. That's the other thing also is that
That was the feel.
Does but bat chila. You're right. This is maschil. Yeah, you
There are
don't.
4 beginnings, and they give the 4 cups.
Oh, so you don't have the Seder plate, so to speak, until after you do the first coast.
Mhm.
Yeah, just to point out. Okay. Yeah. So then masim mavarach b'rei adama, v'lokeach yarak. So you take a vegetable, umatabel oso b'charoses, and you dip it in charoses, v'ochel kazais, and you eat a kazais. Hu v'chol metubinimo. He and everyone who's reclining with him. See, he mentions the reclining, and that's not even an action. I know it's people. You could say it's just people, but kol ain't pakas mikazais. Right, so that's the Rambam Shita, right? Is that I think Rebbe just explained that it's because there's no achila pakas mikazais, and so once they instituted a chiyuv of achila, then you have to do an achila. Yeah. Okay, then so this is an interesting side note though. Look on the left on the.
That's weird.
Oh, sorry, Isaac doesn't have.
Oh,
Oh, actually, I have an extra copy. I have the originals.
ooh.
Yeah.
That is weird that he said. I mean, I agree. Like it's strange though that he says it twice. Like you could just say the whole fucking guys, and then like that we would still know that you can't have less. Like there's no feel less than 2 hours. Why does he have to double up to teach us that? Like,
You mean? Wait, sorry, I just missed the question. Why did he have to say after kol echad echad in pakas mikazais? Or
yeah, like I agree you can't.
you're saying to do the first one he does have to mention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just say that and we'll know you can't. There's nothing. It's not worth anything if you eat less than that.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think the chiddush in the second one is the kol echad echad, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So why? Oh, right. So
I mean,
why-
you're saying so then why in pakas mikazais afterwards? Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I guess because the nature of this achila is a shinui halayla, is it that you would think that that only the Baal Seder, the Koreich Haggadah has to do it?
Well, you could just say everyone eats inside. Isn't that what it says? Oh, because I have food or hold too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good question. Don't know. But look at the footnote, the first footnote on page. Mavarach b'rei pri adama, v'lo kasav rabbeinu shemavarach bracha achrona. Okay, so he doesn't say make a bracha achrona. V'chein nira mipnei shehabracha b'rei pri adama chala gam al hamaror hanizkar lahala and ches. So it seems like it's because you're also going on the maror, which is later on, and that's what Ashkenazim hold, right? Because we don't make a bracha achrona, and I think we hold that you have in mind over the maror. But then over tshuva. She'efshar sheniftav lifnei ksiva sefer hamishna Torah kasav rabbeinu shalachrav mevarach b'rei nefashos lefisha ha'haggadah matzekes. So it's possible, he says that in one of the tshuvos that was maybe written before the Mishnah Torah, the Rambam wrote that you make b'rei nefashos after the Hilchos Karpas, and because the Haggadah is going to be a hefsek, and that's what I understand is the whole dilemma. I mean, what I always tell people at my Seder is. I give them the karpas and I say you either have to eat a kazais or less than a kazais, because each one is a shita. Is that Rambam holds you have to eat a kazais, but then you get yourself into bracha achrona shilas, and then I think the Ashkenazic poskim hold that you have to eat less than a kazais because you don't want to get into bracha achrona shilas. But now we have the Aruch HaShulchan's Baruch Rachmana Mara Malka Alma. Bring the pashos, and maybe you could do that unless I get an answer that says not. Yeah.
But then you already answer different child you might have made it very pashos and then.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You know how you really get out of it, because according to the Rambam, then you need to be matzim your mea brachos, and it's not considered a bracha she'eina tzricha if you eat a little bit. Right? That's the advice he gives on Yom Tovs, right? Is you say bracha, eat it, make a bracha Quran, then say it again and eat it.
Well, we had a question whether that's a different food or not.
Yeah, so this would be a different food, maror, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
And you get the kima mea brachos. Yeah.
For everything.
What? Pause, hold on. And we won't tell the police. All right. All right. So are we at the? Oh, so I guess we don't know. It sounds like from that footnote that we don't know whether you whether the Rambam holds you say bracha Quran. We'll have to check the Seder Haram later on. Okay. All right. And also note that the Ram, and we mentioned this, we did the charotas, but he said you dip it in the charotas, right? And the footnote explains that that's, according to the Ram, you have to wash because the charotas has vinegar, which is wine, which is one of the 7 liquids. Yeah. Okay.
But if you're going to do it, then
That's a good point, right? If your charotas, wait, you mean if your charotas doesn't have vinegar in it, right? Yeah. Yeah, right. Because if it's in, Meperos is not one of them, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. The achar kach okrin es hashulchan milifnei koreich haggadah levado. So then you uproot the table from before the reader of the Haggadah alone, meaning not from everyone else. Although it's not machar that everyone else has tables. I mean, he didn't say you bring the tables to them, but
What's the Levado then?
no, meaning he doesn't meaning that they do have tables, but he doesn't have. There's no halachic role of have them bring tables to them, you know. And certainly their table doesn't have all this other stuff on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't the full echad ve'echad.
Yeah. Umotin hakos hasheni, and then you mix the second kos v'kan haben shoel. And here the son asks, that's weird that you mix the kos. Was it?
during the mixing.
Or either during or after. But the weird thing is it's not in immediate response to the opening of the shulchan. Yeah.
The first one was Median, and this is a Median.
Well, the iyun for the kos rishon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, that mean that it was mazug beforehand? Because I think it has to be mazug.
Yeah.
That's very strange. Yeah.
Those music.
Yeah, that's very, very strange. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up with that.
But maybe it's because the mixing itself is part of what the shading.
It could be, yeah. Although I don't know why that would be either. I mean, if anything,
Like the movie is
because the moving play is what he identified in Shvi'i as the thing that gets the kid to ask. And then, if anything, I would think it would be. I mean, you could say that this is the meziga, but like, why are we having a second cup like before we start the meal or something?
Yeah.
But either way, it doesn't correspond to what he wrote in the 7th parak.
Mhm.
You know. Yeah. The Omer Hakore. And also not only that, but if you look in that 7th parak, didn't he say that the meziga is like part of the chayrus? Or did he not say that? Was that just an implication? Arbakos is elutzarach limzog osan Kadeish shasia areva hakol fi hayayin ulfi das hashose. Yeah, again, I know it's not like you have to say that that's part of it, but you can see the meziga being part of the pouring of the cup, or being the creation of the entity of the cup or something. Okay, so that's the conventional of the Omer Hakore, and then the reader asks,
Maybe as kind of a jaw is where you like do the things where you're getting the sun to ask in.
Right, but that's what I was saying though. That's the opening of Shulchan.
Yeah. Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'd say that this is, if the Ben is not asking at this point, then you continue doing things.
Mhm.
You have to
That could be.
and then you don't move on until it.
That could be, yeah. It is weird that it still is weird, not as great of weirdness, but that's after the second kos is poured.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, but Omer Hakore.
which is also weird because it's the band who's asking. Or it's one.
Yeah, right. And then the Koreich reads it right. So the Ben is not asking Manashtan Allah Zelam Mikol Halilas, right? That's the Koreich. Also, we note here that the Rambam doesn't mention halach ma'anya, even though he has it in his Haggadah. So not unclear where you say halach ma'anya. Yeah.
Is the Koreich, it seems like this is not a question. This is like a statement.
Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah, it's Omer HaKoreich.
Yeah.
Although above, I think, did he say in Zion? Joel, right? He said Sholin, well, Ein Lo Bain, Isho Shoalta. Okay, so I guess that's not the same Manashtana.
Yeah, that's the.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right. So that would seem to be the question here. Yeah, here it does sound like a proclamation or declaration. I mean, okay, Manashtana halayla hazemi kol halaylas shebachol halaylas ein anu matablin afilu pam achas. So the footnote guy on the side, I wouldn't have caught that. I would have thought it was just a different vocalization. But the footnote guy on the side says, wait, where are we? Metablin, see it there? Come on, metaplin. We busy ourselves with. Meaning that we busy ourselves with eating of vegetables. Is that weird? And it does not mean dipping like in our language. Because according to the Rambam, you dip 4 times. So that is interesting that Rambam has to learn the question differently because then you can't say, wait, what's the rest of the question? Tonight we are metabel twice.
Like, normally we're not herbivores even once.
Yeah, it's a weird lashon, right? Because it doesn't say we don't eat, it's just we busy ourselves with, make a big deal about. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess like having a specific course of vegetables.
Right, or a procedure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying the procedure is like having like you can have like as part of the meal like one of the side dishes of vegetables or something like that, but you have like a course of just vegetables.
Right, but it's also a procedure because you're dipping it in the process.
Yes.
You know, and doing it. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm thinking the fact that the vegetables are like a thing.
Yeah.
As opposed to like.
Right. I guess. I guess I'm trying to think of it in a way that maximizes the implication of the word of metapel, like we involve ourselves with. I mean, I see what you're saying though, because
what I'm saying is like I'd say a characteristic of that.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, that one is fine. Right, so all the nights we eat meat that is roasted. What do you say? Shaluk is boiled and mavushal and cooked. Tonight, it's all roasted.
Even the chagig?
I guess the chagig is roasted. Yeah, I never really thought about it. Plus the yerek acher. Right? Yeah, I think we pointed that out. That was weird. All the nights we eat other vegetables tonight. I mean, he doesn't say kula merorim, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess maybe that's the easier answer. Is just merorim. Shavakol halelos anu ochlin bin yoshim bin masunim halelos kulanu masubin. On all of the nights we eat, whether sitting or reclining, tonight we all recline.
Yes, 5 questions.
Yeah, it's 5. Yeah.
Wait,
but what about the female 4?
Go back to the iyun.
Yeah.
That you're saying that we usually don't eat merorim at all. We just eat any other vegetable but merorim.
Sha'ar yirakos, unless he just means like.
We just eat more pleasant vegetables usually.
Yeah, like a. Other vegetables. Not that we don't eat merorim, but.
Right. We just usually.
Like there's a range of vegetables we eat.
Oh, is that right?
Anu ochlin sha'ar yirakos. I mean, unless they never ate merorim, but I kind of.
Well, so what were you saying then about the yar?
Oh, I was just saying that. I guess when I first read it, I thought he was saying halal is kulo merorim, and that would be false. A problem with yerek acher.
So then, why is it different? Why is this night isn't different than other?
But it is because we still go out of our way to eat merorim, whereas on all of the nights it's like which vegetables we eat are rishus. Tonight we dafka eat merorim. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that problematic or is that?
Yeah, I mean it's just weird because in the eating itself there's no difference. It's just happens to be this one is a chiyuv, and usually.
Isn't that what we say for the Heseva and Yeshiva also? Like on all the nights.
Well, I mean there he says.
And same thing with the.
So that lends itself to that interpretation, but for Shari Ruckos, he doesn't say being or Shari.
That's true. Yeah, I guess I'm understanding it the same way, that it's just like we eat a variety of vegetables, or we eat vegetables other than maror. Like I'm not sure. Maybe I'm missing what's bothering you. Let me think about it for a second, or explain.
Yeah,
Hold on. There's a footnote also. I don't know if it's going to help or hurt.
It's different order for different.
Yeah, it's different order for other ones. But then does he say something on the merorim? Yeah, merorim, kisve yad achadim. Oh, that's all he says. All right. Where's the asterisk go? Or is that just something that it said earlier that we don't know? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I'll think about my question.
Yeah. Let's think about it for a little while more. Basar tzali shalag mubusha, v'lo is a kulo tzali. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is paralleling the same way he does it by the meat, but just without kulo.
Well, that's the whole point of the sully is that it is kulo sully. That's the entire, halala.
Is that a thing?
Of the no, I'm not saying that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's what the question is on. Is that
Yeah.
we're only eating roast meat.
Right.
That's what the question is.
Right.
But by the maror, the question is not why are we only eating maror.
Mm-hmm.
It's why are we
eating maror at all?
Eating maror at all. So
Yeah.
it's funny that it's okay. I have to think about what I'm not saying. Exactly.
Okay.
But yeah. Well, yeah. Why are we eating maror at all? That's what it is. Like
I think so.
We wouldn't eat maror.
Yeah.
This is bitter.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Fine.
Okay. All right. And then that was it. Yeah. So those 5 questions. And is there any order to these that's significant here? I know the footnote says that there's a different order, but so the metablin definitely is the first thing that we do. Coming to matzah would come next, but then the basar is not in order. Right? We eat maror before we eat the basar, and then we certainly do haseva before that.
Well, I guess maybe you're seeing that. You're seeing that it's roasted.
Both of you would eat it with the maror.
You would eat it with the maror. That's true. Also,
so you wouldn't.
Right. Right. That's true. Yeah. So it's secondary once you're putting it there.
Yeah.
Oh, so then
the shulchan before. Yeah,
the akhirat shulchan or the hava shulchan? Hava shulchan was right after Kadeish.
Yes, then my theory doesn't work. Then you say that before you say.
Okay, Bazman has a Eino Omer v'halal has a kulo tzali. She'ein lanu korban. Umasku, okay, well, Umasku v'gnus v'korei ad shegomer drash parashas arami ovid avi kula. Wow, that was
very drastic.
Collapsing the entire Magid into just like, yeah. So, okay, that's what you do. Yeah, it is weird he puts the Bazman Hazeh here. You would think he would put that at the end of the last halacha, right? And then start off with Umasku v'gnus. Yeah, it's also weird that we don't substitute it for, we still don't, like you could have conceived of a thing where just like at Roman Gamliel, you say what Pesach Zesha Hayu Avaseno Oflin Ashuma,
right?
Whereas here you don't. Now you could say that it's because number one over there that's a requirement, and here there's nothing forcing us to say it, or you could say that like here it's presumably in response to seeing stuff, and like you're not seeing the Korban Pesach, but
you do see this.
That's true. But I guess it's not unusual to bring out 2 pieces of meat, 2 kinds of meat. Yeah. Okay, fine. The Koreich ad shegomer drash parashas arami ovid avi kula. Yeah. Okay, fine. Umachzir shulchan. Whoa.
Wait, he didn't say Masam Sheva.
He didn't say Masam b'shavach. You're right. He did not.
Hello.
Maybe. Yeah, we still don't know. That's still an unresolved question.
What? That's what I just say.
Yeah. Umachzir shulchan lefanav. So he does not have the shulchan in front of him the entire time. Right, the shulchan left after Kadeish and then is returning now.
Well, what after washing?
Left after washing, right? After
You
washing.
wash and no.
Yeah. Okay. The Omer Pesach Zesh Anu Ochlin Al Shem Shepasach Hamakam Baruchu Al Bati Alafim B'Mitzrayim Shneimar V'Amartim Zevach Pesach L'Hashem. So he returned the shulchan and he says, "This Pesach that we eat, what is it? Is named after God, blessed is He, skipping over the houses of our fathers in Mitzrayim, as it is stated, you shall say, this is a Pesach offering to Hashem." So you don't lift it, I guess, because it's so big. Umagbia.
Because it's not on the plate. On the table.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, check out the in the footnote on Daled. So the footnote guy is learning that when he said before that this is the Ikar HaHaggadah, he meant only the Rambam Gamliel things. Because we said it implies everything in the first couple halachos.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the fact that he says it proves anything, but that's just how I was reading it. Okay, then Umabia Hamaror Biado. Wait, I thought there were Marorim. Omer Marzesh Anu Ochlim. In fact, I think he does actually say Merorim in the actual Haggadah. This mar that we eat, yeah.
You think of an instance of mar.
I hate himself mar. This
Because it's matching with the lashon of mar. Is that
yeah, right. No, I'm saying that in the Rambam in
where
the
they says hamar? Yeah.
yeah, I'm saying no that in the I think in the Seder of the Rambam he does say Merorim Elush Anu Ochlin.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's been talking about it in plural up until now.
Yeah.
That's not a big problem. Hashem Shemir Hamitzrim Eschaya V'Sein B'Mitzrayim is because is named because the Egyptians embittered the lives of our fathers in Egypt. Shnemar V'Yamaru Eschayehem, they embittered their lives. Umabia, I always got. Well, I'll ask the question after. Umabia Hamata Biad, and he lifts the matzah in his hand. Omer Mata Zosha Anu Ochlim. Oh, there's another thing to point out, even though I think we know this, is Ram does not have Yachat. Right? There's no breaking of matzah at any point earlier. He's going to break it later on. Yeah. Omer Mata Zosha Anu Ochlim. This matzah we eat. Al Shem Shelo He speak, but take him Shalom saying Lahachmit Ashnikla Lehem Hakadosh Baruch Hu Ugalam Iyad. Right? That's the Ram adds Miyad. That this matzah that we eat is named is on the fact that the dough of our fathers did not have time to ferment, to leaven until Hakadosh Baruch Hu revealed himself to them and redeemed them immediately. Shnemar Vayofa es habatek asher hotim miMitzrayim. They took the dough that they had brought out from Mitzrayim. Ubazman hazeh Omer Pesach Chay Avosenu Ochlin Bizman Shebeis Hamikdash Kayan Al Shem Shepasach Hakadosh Baruch Hu Al Batei Avosenu. Right now, we'd say this Pesach that our fathers ate and the time when the Beis Hamikdash stood is because God skipped over the houses of our fathers. Yeah. My question also, and this is not a question on the Rambam, but like the order is weird. Wait, no, the order is not weird. Wait, Pesach, Maror, and then Matzah. So the order is weird, right?
Which is different from the Marshtana.
Yes. Marshtana, he said matzah first, then Pesach and Maror. Yeah. So is there an order here? We say it Pesach, matzah, and Maror, right?
Yeah.
And you could ask a question in that order also, but
I could speculate.
yeah.
That it's trying to show that Asa and Mar are both dependent or subservient.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that
Mar is more. Yeah.
dependent.
Okay, nice. I like that. Yeah. The thing I always thought was weird is like, and I'm not saying that I have a problem with this, but I think the from a seaport vantage point, it would make sense to go Maror, Pesach, Matzah, because that's the order of the events. We start off with the Maru, and then Pesach is God freed us, and then Matzah as they went out. Yeah.
Isn't it Pesach?
Well, Pesach is the night they got free, and the Matzah is the day when they actually were free.
So Matzah should be last.
Matzah should be last. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but Omer, and then he says, so we still haven't had the second cup yet, right? Yeah. Omer lefikach anu chayavin lahodos lahala leshbeach lafire leromin legado lahader ulanatzeach lemish akalanu v'la avosenu es kolani tamelu. Yeah. What does it say on the footnote? V'la avosenu biksav yad kafech. I don't know what the yud stands for. Ein milazo. Yeah, I think, yeah, there's machlokes whether there's lanu v'lavosenu. This fits in better with Avadim Hayinu though, because Avadim Hayinu is emphasizing that he did it for them and for us. So therefore we are obligated, and therefore it's going off of the Rambam Gamliel thing.
Yeah.
Because in ours we quote in the Haggadah itself we quote Beholder V'dor, right? In between here. I think let's just check the Rambam Haggadah there. In oaths, yeah. So oaths, Lamed Gimel is Rambam Gamliel, Lamed Dalet is Pesach, Lamed Hey is Matzah, Lamed Vav is Merorim, And he does say Merorim Elu Sha'anachnu Ochlim. Okay. And then Lamed Zayin is Kol Devdor Chayav Adam Laharas as Atmo. Then Lamed Chet is Lefikach Anu Chayavim.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes, it's weird. It's weird which things he mentions. I mean, it's weird. Yeah, it's weird the differences between the Nusach the Zayin and Ches, and then Ches and the Nusach HaHaggadah. They don't line up.
yeah.
Okay, so Lefikach, or I lost my place. What halach are we in? Hey, yeah. Right. Therefore, we are obligated to give thanks, to praise, to exalt, to glorify, to beautify, to praise the one who did for us and our fathers all these miracles. And he brought us from slavery to freedom. And we say before him Hallelujah, and then Hallelujah, Hallelujah Hashem, until Hallelujah Shalom. So that's the first two fragments of Hallel. The Chosim, and then we conclude. Blessed are you, Hashem, our God, the King of the universe, who redeemed us and our fathers from Egypt. So that also supports the reading of Lanu V'Lavaseno. And brought us to this night to eat on it matzah and merorim. That's I assume that comes from the pasuk Bavur Zeh. Right? That's because that's what we said there. And then Ubazman Hazeh Mosif, and nowadays we add in so too, or thusly, Hashem our God and the God of our fathers, Yagi'inu L'modim V'Liragalim Acherim, bring us to festivals and or holidays and festivals, other festivals that are coming to greet us, L'Shalom, with peace. Smechim B'Vinyan Irach, rejoicing in the building of your city, the Sasim B'Vodasach, and Satan and Simcha, our old friends from Tugas, and being glad in your avoda. And we will eat there from the offerings and the petachs. That reach whose blood reaches the wall of your mizbeach for favor. And we will acknowledge for you, or give thanks to you with a new song on our redemption and on the redemption of our souls, our soul. Baruch Hashem Ga'al Yisrael. Blessed be Hashem who redeemed Israel. U'mavarach al hagefen v'shoseh hakos hasheni. During the second codes. Yeah.
Weird.
What's the weird thing?
It's just like, no.
It is long bracha, right? And it's an addition. This was Rabbi Akiva's edition, I think.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's not usually.
And it's a bakasha too. I mean, it's.
Right.
I presume it's a bakasha, right? Yagienu is God should bring us.
Yeah.
It's a weird way of phrasing it. Like that we restrict it to specifically eating and sprinkling of the blood of the korbanos. Like it's not like we bring this into like Geula Shlema, avoda in general, Letzion. It's very tied to like the entities of the night, I guess, which maybe is why he's doing it.
Doesn't really talk about the dumb.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't talk about like being like Slovin or like.
Yeah, I mean the dam. That's not as weird to me because the dam is the main thing, right?
It's also the only thing you do in Pesach. Are you not giving Sullivan?
I have busha.
I think also play it.
Okay. Yeah.
That's not part of like the essential for I guess.
Right.
It
Also,
doesn't have to, but it's not.
What is it?
Like, is it the same? Like, Sima, like man, Sima?
Yeah, I was wondering that also. I was wondering if this v'noda l'chashir chadash agu l'tzein v'alptus nafshenu. So that's me'ina chasima, but then
But it's different than.
the original version was, I guess this v'higinu l'ala hazeh l'chol bo matzah merorim is a continuation of asher ga'alanu v'ga'al zavasim mitzrayim. I guess it's enough of that. To warrant it. But it is interesting that we only mentioned the Geulasin and Kedus Nafshenu in this extended version.
Right, which seems like it would be true even without.
Yeah, right. And it also seems important.
Yeah.
It seems like a much more important thing than Levable Mato Merorim.
Yeah.
Kedus Nafshenu, yeah. Strange. If Afrakach Mavarch on Tilas Yadayim, Venotel Yadav Shnia. So you make a second Nitilas Yadayim and you wash your hands a second time. Try Hisiach Da'ato Bishat Kriyat Haggadah. See, so apparently it was enough of Hesach Hadas to require a nudity daim. But depending on what you say about the bracha on karpas, I guess it's not enough of a hasakadas for that. If you hold that you don't make another bracha on the maror.
It's different type of hasakadas because here the hasakadas is about being mindful about your hands.
That's true, right?
And
Whereas you are focusing on the
you're
items.
still you can be involved in the process of cleaning without being like thinking about it.
Yeah.
If you're not thinking about your hands, you're not.
Right, that's true.
Something.
He takes two wafers, yes. He splits one, and then puts the piece inside the complete one. I always wondered that also. Why do you have to put it letoch shalem? Like, let's say like on lechem mishnah on Shabbos, there's no idea of like putting, you don't have to like scrunch up the bread and put, unless you do, I mean, I haven't read his Hilchos Chametz in a while. U'mevarach hamoti lechem min haaretz, and you make hamoti, yeah.
The footnote says, "Mata shlema utchepet et chitzona."
Pitsuya. Yeah. Yeah, the complete matzah in circles. In wrap, the half one, yeah.
I would be very impressed if someone can do this with crunchy matzah.
Yes, yeah. What was I gonna say here though? That one thing also that again, so like when I started doing my Seder, we kind of had the option of doing our own minhagim. I feel like there's a lot of talk about what you have kavana for when you make all achilas mata and hamoti, and like having this one on the piece and this one. Ram just says you make hamoti on the breads, right? I mean, he doesn't say
right.
He doesn't say like you have in mind for one and not the other. Okay, but then he's not done yet. That was just hamoti. So why don't you make a bracha on two loaves like other yom tovim? Just as it is the way, it says bread of poverty, just like it's the way of a poor person to have a piece, so to here a piece.
That's very strange. Like you could have talked about that in the theoretical section.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It seems to be important, but I guess he holds it's not part of the. I mean, it sounds like he holds it's not part of the mitzvah of matzah. It sounds like he holds it's part of the Seder of B'tzias Pas. In fact, let me give a rye for that. I think that's also looking at Hilchos Shabbos. No, sorry, not Hilchos Shabbos. Hilchos Brachot. Yeah, Perek Zion. Yeah, so the first so this is where he starts off the parak with Minhagot Rabbos Nahagu Chachmei Rabbos Seuda V'Kulan Derech Eretain V'Elohein Kishenifnasin LaSeuda Gadosh V'Kulan Notel Yadav Chil. Okay, he goes through all that. But then halachos bathed through hay are all about B'tzias Pas. And I thought he mentioned Shabbos. Maybe I'm wrong. Shouldn't have opened the entire thing. Oh yeah. Look at Zion Gimel. So Ena Butzea Rasha Livto Achi Aviu Melach V'Liftan Lifnei Kol Echad Al Imkein Nischavnu Lecho Pas Hareva. V'Eno Butzea Lo Prusa Ktana Mipnei Shu Nira Katzar Ein Lo Prusa Yoter Mikabeta Mipnei Shu Nira Ra'avatan. V'Shabbos Yesh Lo Livto Prusa Gedola. Oh, that's a different Shabbos thing. Oh, I'm thinking of the next one. We'll keep reading. Ena Butzea El Mimach Bishel Yafi Yafe. Mitzvah Min Mukhar Livto Mikikar Flema. Im Haita Sham Flema Shel Sorim Uprusa Shel Chitim Minich Prusa Besoch Flema. Oh, he does have that. So I guess that is a thing in B'tzias Pas. You put the prusa. So if the If the shlema is of barley and the parus is of wheat, Minich Prusa Besoch Shlema Ubotzea Mishtehem Kadesh Yivta Michitim Umishlema. Okay. Uv'Shabbos v'Yom Tovim chayav lito al shtei kikaros noto shteim biado ubotzea achas mehen. Yeah.
That is not how it like only for the heap of pseudos. It's just for moti, right?
Brahmoti, yeah.
Yeah.
On
Shabbos.
Like if you're having 5 meals on Shabbos, you do this for each one.
Oh, I hear it. Yeah, it sounds like that. You're right.
Because he's not like
I mean, it says mitzvah minimum. What's the mitzvah of Ismail?
Yeah, I guess so, right? The mitzvah is.
Is there-
Where did he say mitzvah muvchar? That's for. Oh, you mean that's on a weekday, right?
Is that on a weekend?
Mitzvah min muvchar l'vtoa mikikar shlema. Yeah, that's definitely a weekday.
So what's the mitzvah?
Yeah, that's what I thought you were asking.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Because it sounds like you just said earlier, it's derech eretz.
Yeah.
Yeah. A mitzvah d'Rabbanan of saying hamotzi on bread. I mean, I don't know what the.
Yeah, I think it's the trouble for the bracha.
Oh, what if I only use one? Like, here.
Yeah. So why would I bring this in? Oh, to show that. Oh yeah. So maybe the fact that he doesn't bring this up in the halachos of matzah in Perek Vav, and he doesn't bring this up in the halachos in Zion about Sipor. Maybe he just holds that this is just the derech eretz of tonight.
Right.
Is that's where the address of the lechamoni.
Yeah, you're not going to do the more prevalent thing because it's looking.
Right. Yeah. Okay. The afar kach, we're at Vav 2 now, right? The afar kach Koreich matzah umar ke'achad. So then you wrap matzah and mar as one. Yeah. Umatabel.
You haven't eaten yet.
You haven't eaten yet. Yeah. Yeah, that was what threw me off.
Yeah.
Umatabel b'charoses. Umavarach b'rokta Hashem elkeim ha'chalam. Asher kiddushan b'mitzvah v'tzivan al chilas matzah umrorim. Yeah, that's the interesting thing.
We don't say that.
The Ochlan. No, we don't say that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he's gonna give another option, I think. V'im achal matzah b'fnei atma, umar b'fnei atma, mavarach al zeh b'fnei atma, v'al zeh b'fnei atma. So that's what we do. Yeah. Yeah. V'achkach mavarach b'rokta Hashem elkeim ha'chalam. Asher kiddushan b'mitzvah v'tzivan al chilas ha'zevach. V'ochem b'sar chagigas arba asar tchila, and then you eat from the meat of the chagig of the 14th first. Mavarach baruch Hashem elkeim ha'chalam. Asher kiddushan b'mitzvah v'tzivan al chilas ha'pesach. V'ochem migufa shel pesach. Below birkas ha'pesach poteres shel ha'zevach, below shel ha'zevach poteres shel ha'pesach. Yeah. Yeah.
Not talk like I know we don't talk during because matzah or mar. Are you not talking while you're eating the chagiga and the pesach?
He didn't say anything about talking.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know what he holds about that in general, like when you're doing the Hilchos Chametz.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Also, why are you eating the matzah to be
From the Pesach, you mean? Yeah, that's weird, right?
Yeah,
And this is Zman Shabbos Mikdash Kayim. I mean, I think that's the machlokas, though, right? Is that between Hillel and whoever else Hillel was arguing with about whether you eat the Pesach with the matzah and maror or not. So I think we paskin not like that.
Yeah, what's the benefit? Like Deraisa, why are you eating mar on its own with just the matzah?
Yeah.
What does that do even Deraisa?
Well, so I don't know if it's possible that when we say that maror is deraisa when you have the korban pesach, I don't know if that means when you have them together.
Oh.
It might just mean that when you have a kiyum of korban pesach and you're, I don't know how it's structured. It's a valid question though. Yeah. All right. Let's do one more. Bazman hazeh she'ein sham korban al charshim mevarach hamoti lechem chozer mevarach al achilas matzah. Oh, so now he is legislating. So yeah. So it sounds like we don't do Bazman with a Pesach, then you do matzah and maror together, or you can do them separately. Here now we only do it separately. Mutabel matzah b'charoses v'ochel, v'chozer mevarach al achilas maror, mutabel maror b'charoses v'ochel. Below yashhe also b'charoses, you shouldn't leave it in the charoses. Shemi yivtel tamo, because maybe it'll negate its taste. V'zeh mitzvah midivir sofrim. This is a mitzvah midivir sofrim.
Or the dipping or the mar?
Sounds like for the dipping of the maror, right?
Dipping of the mar.
Yeah.
For the dipping of the matzah is Deraisa?
No, it sounds like, is that just not the Ikar HaMitzvah? I mean, or the Yerek Acher? Sounds like he's saying like this dipping. V'zeh mitzvah midivir sofrim.
It could just be the dipping all of it.
Could be.
Or it could be.
V'zeh is weird though.
Why can't it be the mar? The eating of the mar?
Oh, you mean just the eating of the maror, not the dipping?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be. V'chozer v'korach matzah umar u'metabel b'charoses v'ochlon below bracha zecher lemikdash. Yeah, so that is so that's funny. So we are eating the matzah umar zecher lemikdash, presumably zecher to what we would have done, which was the al chilas matzah umrorim, eating the matzah umar together. Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole sugya about what the sandwich thing is and
Right.
we eat it with the face or not. Let's stop here.
Okay.
Okay. A lot of